How good is the RX 6600 here in 2024? It's one of the only graphics cards you can get for under $200 brand new and with 8 gigs of VRAM. Although some people would have you to believe 8 gigs of VRAM is kind of terrible, it was released in 2021 and we're going to put it to the test in some modern games and see how it still holds up. In our trusty test bench with the i5-12600K and 32 gigs of RAM running at 5600 MHz. After this word from our sponsor, if you're looking at building your first gaming PC, then you need to try out scdkey. They have great discounted Windows keys like this Windows 10 Pro key that you can find on scdkey.com. All you gotta do is add it to your cart and use code MPC25 to bring that total all the way down to $16.84. Or if Windows 11 Pro is more your thing, you can use the same exact code MPC25 after you add it to your cart and drop that price all the way down to $23.46. They also have other awesome things on their website like Office 2019. You can get the entire Office suite for $50.84, again using code MPC25. Go ahead and act fast because this is their March sale. I've used these codes a ton on all my PC builds and had zero issues from scdkey. If you want to check it out, all the links for what we just talked about will be down in the description. First up in Starfield, we tested it at 1440p. Medium settings, no upscaling, we got around 60 FPS. Ultra settings, no upscaling, 45-ish FPS. Then we tried ultra settings with frame generation and got 65 FPS. Not too bad, but let's try to 1080p because that's really what the card's meant for. Medium settings, no upscaling, we got 80 FPS. High settings, no upscaling, 80 FPS. Ultra was slightly different with 65 FPS, but then we tried Ultra with FSR 3, no frame generation, 75 FPS. In CyberPunk 2077, we tried it at 1440p. Medium settings, no upscaling, we got 50 FPS. Low, no upscaling, we got 68 FPS. Then we tried a little bit of low ray tracing with some help of some FSR, and it actually did a lot better than I expected at 46 FPS. But again, 1080p is where it shines, so we got like 50 FPS on medium settings with no FSR, and 1080p ray tracing, we tried medium settings because we were overzealous, and that only got us like 38 FPS. Gotta at least try one, right? Smash that like button for more FPS. In Warzone, we tried a bunch of different settings as well. Ultra no upscaling, we got around 80 FPS. Ultra with FSR, we got around 100. Balanced no upscaling, 110, and balanced with FSR, we got around 120. Then we tried extreme settings with FSR and frame gen. On 1440p, we got right at it like 140-ish FPS. It was pretty smooth. Latency was below 10 milliseconds. I think that's pretty awesome, especially for just a casual gamer like myself. But we went ahead and tried it at 1080p. We tried ultra settings, no upscaling, and we got like 110 FPS. Ultra though with FSR, no frame gen, we got around 130. Then just for fun, we tried basic settings, FSR with frame gen, just to see how far we could push this GPU, and we got like 180-ish to 200 FPS, which in Warzone is pretty awesome to think that we're here in 2024 with these kind of FPS numbers. We did a quick Halo test, 1440p. Medium settings, we got 75 FPS, but at 1080p medium settings, we got like over 100, like 110. If you think you might want an RX 6600 at the end of this video, check the links down below. You can get them brand new on Amazon for around $200 or on the used market for around 140, 150. Now the easier to run games like Apex Legends. We tried it at 1440p max settings and we got around like 90 FPS, but then we put everything on low at 1440p and we got like 150, 160 FPS. Then we tried it at 1080p where this GPU shines. Max settings 1080p, we got like 140, 150 FPS. But then at low settings at 1080p, the RX 6600 got us over 240 FPS, which is pretty dang awesome if you ask me. Then we tried everyone's favorite battle royale, good old Fortnite. At 1440p, we tried it at DX12 competitive settings. That means we turned everything off or on low, except for the view distance. We put that on far to really max out this FPS, and we got like 160, 170. But when we tried performance mode at 1440p, we got over 240 FPS. It was pushing 275 at times. Pretty awesome. But again, 1080p is where everybody wants to play most of the time, especially in these competitive type games like this. So DX12, 1080p, we only pushed like 200 to 240 at times. It was stayed more around 200 than 240. But on performance mode, we got over 300 FPS. So AMD GPUs can definitely play Fortnite. But if you're looking for something a little bit different, then you can go watch this video.